Hello everyone, and today we are going to discuss the mechanical properties of matter. Okay, so we are going to deal with this. So first of all, we need to know what is matter. Okay, so anything which occupies space and is perceived by our any of our sense organs is known as a matter. Okay, so anything around you which you saw is a matter. Okay, so for example, the train running is a matter. uh, a brick is a matter, the air is matter, because it all occupies space, have some mass, and is perceived by any of our sense organs. Okay, so now in this topic, means in this chapter, this will going to be about 4 to 5 videos on this. Okay, mechanical properties of matter, in which we will discuss the constitution of matter, how how matters are formed, and then we will deal with elasticity, stress, strain, Hooke's law, and many more. Okay, so let's proceed with this mechanical properties of matter. Okay, so all matter are made of atoms and molecules. Okay, so matters are made up of atoms and molecules. Atoms, and molecules, which are the collection of atoms in a different ratio. So these are atoms and molecules. So atoms, now let's discuss the constitution of atoms. So atoms are made up of electrons and nucleus. Okay, electrons and nucleus, atoms made up of. The nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons. Okay, so you all know about this. Electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged. Okay, positively charged, and the neutrons are neutral in nature, and therefore their name is there. The name follows them, because neutrons are neutral and they have no any charge, while electrons and protons have charge. Now nucleus contains this, okay, protons and neutrons. So these are known as nucleons. Okay, so whenever you hear this nucleons, then you prefer to these things, protons and neutrons. Okay, so nucleons means protons and neutrons. Okay, and these are electrons. So actually the structure of atom is like this. You have a nucleus, okay, and all the electrons revolve around it. Okay, so here are the collection of electrons, and here is your nucleus, and in nucleus you have protons and neutrons. Okay, so now we need to know the constitution of matter. So before constitution of matter, you know that matter consists of atoms and molecules, and then after you need to know that what are the atoms made up of. So atoms are made up of electrons and nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons. Now the question arises that why the nucleus is stable. Okay, the question arises why the nucleus is stable. So let's know about it. A nuclear force acts between protons and neutrons, protons and protons. Okay, so nuclear force is responsible for holding together nucleus, for holding together protons and protons, and protons and neutrons, and neutrons and neutrons. Okay, so inside this nucleus, nuclear force acts, which holds together protons, both are positively charged. So don't be confused here that I have read in my earlier classes that like charges repel each other. Yes, like charges repel each other, but here both are like charges, but they attract each other and they hold together to make the nucleus stable, because this is not the electromagnetic force we are dealing with. This is another type of force called nuclear force. Okay, so what makes the nucleus stable is this nuclear force. Okay, so nuclear force holds together the nucleus. Now question arises that yes, nucleus is stable, we know that, but how an atom becomes stable due to this electrons and nucleus. Okay, so that is electromagnetic force, and you all know this. okay, that like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. So this is electromagnetic force. Okay, so electromagnetic force acts between electrons and protons, and electrons, no, only electrons and protons. Okay, so electrons here and protons here attract each other, and they are responsible for the stability of atoms. Okay, so here we know that in this video we came to know that matter made up of atoms and molecules. Atoms are made up of electrons and nucleus. Nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons. Protons and neutrons are held together, are held together due to nuclear force, which is a very small range force, but this is quite strong, and it holds protons and protons together, protons and neutrons together, and neutrons and neutrons together. So it is responsible, nuclear force is responsible for the stability of nucleus. Okay, and then after we come to know about the electromagnetic force, which is like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other, and therefore electron, which is negatively charged, while the protons in nucleus are positively charged, and therefore they are responsible for the stability of the atom. Okay, so this is the case in the stability of the atoms. Thank you.